Stone here with you. We're joined in now by Canadian Wildcats football coach and athletic director Chris Koetting. And Coach, I know you don't coach the basketball team, but your basketball team over the weekend winning their second straight state championship. You guys have gone back-to-back, or basically double back-to-backs with your football and basketball team. Just how remarkable of an accomplishment is that for you guys?
Well, when it actually happened there on Saturday, I mean, I think everybody was just kind of speechless. I mean, everybody was just kind of stunned. I mean, that we really did that. I mean, it was, I remember Coach Copley and myself both in the locker room after the football game. We said, "Hey, y'all got a chance to do something that's never been done," but man, you just knew how hard that was going to be to do, and what Coach Copley and his team, did this year. I mean, we've only played 46 basketball games the last 2 years, and three of the teams at the state tournament this year had already played over 40 this year. So, I mean, it's for Coach Copley to take his team and basically play half a season, and then go beat, some of the best teams in the state to win a state champion, it's really remarkable, honestly. I mean, it's just real tribute to Coach Copley and those players, and getting a late start. And, we played some really tough teams early in the year, before we'd hardly even practiced at all, and had some losses early, and Coach Copley did a good job of, keeping those guys' heads up, knowing that, hey, we're a little behind, but we're going to get where we need to be, and they just got, about the last 6 or 7 games, they've just gotten better each game. And there's something about these kids, I don't know what it is, but they just find a way to win. And I don't think anybody was giving us a shot to make it to the state tournament this year. And then I don't think anybody was giving us a shot to win the state tournament, So, but they just keep proving people wrong. And I've learned, over the years with this group, you just don't ever count them out, because, they'll prove you wrong if you do, So it's just an amazing group of kids. Really, really proud of those guys.
Yeah, it's certainly a remarkable accomplishment. I mean, when you think about the state of Texas, I mean, Division I talent constantly comes out of there. I mean, there's several teams that loaded with Division I talent year in and year out, and you guys are the first school in Texas to pull off the double back-to-backs. I mean, just what does that mean to the school of Canadian and also that community?
Well, what's amazing about it, we're talking about 106 years this has not been done. And, I mean, it's just something that, we'll be talking about 50 years from now, and it'll be, and I don't know, who knows? It may not ever be done again. I don't know. It's taken 106 years, for somebody to do it. So, I don't know. It may never happen again, but, it's really just unbelievable to think that, that our kids pulled that off, and it's just, it's really something else, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, it's remarkable, no doubt about it. Again, we're talking to Chris Koetting, the Canadian Wildcats head football coach and also the athletic director there. You kind of mentioned you didn't know exactly what it was, but these kids, the bullseye's been on their back now, especially this year after winning the state championships last year in both football and basketball. And then, you could say it even more so for basketball this year after repeating again in football this year. I mean, just, what is it about this group of kids and that team that they seem to just relish the target kind of being on their back, so to say? Well,
not worried about that. Coming into this year, I knew that, for a lot of teams on our schedule, beating us would be, make their whole season, So that's the kind of effort you're going to see week in and week out, and our kids have kind of an uncanny knack of just blocking all that out, and I really don't think they even think about it, and I worried about them, feeling the pressure, but I never felt that way, all year, in football, and it just carried right over to basketball. They just have a real business-like approach to how they prepare and get ready for games, and the one thing that I think really helped us, on that state level is just we've been there before, and it wasn't, overwhelming for them to be on that big stage like that, and they just, I don't know how they do it. To be honest, I mean, it's really hard for me to even put into words, just how special this group is, and how they can just block out that pressure, and they never look like they're feeling any pressure, So they're just a really special group of champions. I'll say that.
Yeah, they've been remarkable, no doubt about it. I mean, I know you guys are going to miss these kids when they're gone. A lot of them leaving after this season, because what they've accomplished is truly been remarkable.
Well, and one thing that they've done, they've showed, they've showed how to prepare the younger kids that are coming back. I mean, those kids have watched these kids how they work, what kind of commitment it takes, how you handle yourself, in pressure situations. So I feel like what they've done is going to carry on, in future years. So they definitely left a legacy. And they've definitely left the bar very high. Those seniors that are leaving, they've left the bar extremely high. So, and I know those younger guys that they want to try and keep that going. So, and that's how you do special things. It's just it just kind of builds on itself. And we hope to continue having great success. As we move forward.
Yeah, certainly a remarkable accomplishment as Canadian wins double back-to-backs in football and basketball. Again, that's been Canadian football head coach and athletic director Chris Koetting. Coach Koetting, thanks for taking the time to talk to us on our show today.
You bet, Ryan. Thanks for having me on.
And now joining us on Sports Nuts on this Monday afternoon, the head coach of the boys basketball team, Andy Copley. And Coach, first of all, congratulations on winning your second straight state championship on Saturday. And I know from talking to Coach Koetting just a few moments ago, you guys played maybe about half the games that a lot of these teams had played in the state tournament. So how much of a challenge was that for you guys this season?
Oh, yes, sir. Well, thank you, first of all, for having me. And yes, it certainly is a challenge. We played our first game on December the 28th or 29th, and I had our first practice after Christmas. So it was definitely a challenge, and it took the whole year, the whole season pretty much, to start playing our best basketball. But we just made it through a few games and just kept advancing kind of ugly and began to play better as we got into March and then played really well on Saturday.
Certainly the case. You guys definitely peaked at the right time of the season. No doubt about that. What do you think allowed your team to be able to do that?
Well, I think coming off of last year's season when we did the same thing, there was a confidence there that was built in from doing it once, knowing we could do it again. But it was really just the ability to know that we're going to get better, and it's okay not to play great right now, and don't lose your composure, don't lose your confidence, and just continue to work away and know that when the time comes, we'll be competitive. And we didn't win our district, but we won the state championship. Straps won our district, and they had an excellent team. They get knocked off in the regional semifinals, and then we beat the team that beat them in the finals. So it was a very interesting season, to say the least.
Yeah, certainly it was. No doubt about that. You mentioned this team had the experience of doing that last year, and the football team had the same experience as well. Just kind of how much, I know you have a ton of players that play both, so how much kind of do those two sports kind of feed off each other there at Canadian, you think?
Yeah, we have, all 14 kids that travel, with us in the playoffs play football, so I didn't have any varsity kids at all in the gym. So it's 100%. And it did feed across, and it usually does, but not to the point where we went this year. That's the rare thing about it, and that's why it's never happened before in Texas UIL in over 100 years. The late start still having the same success. But the kids we have right now, and the kids that are going through our program, just have a ton of confidence and a ton of talent, and have just been able to do pretty amazing things the last 2 years. 4 state championships in 15 months over here is just an amazing accomplishment by our kids, and a testament to their will and their work ethic, and really the way they were raised, along with all the investment of our parents and community throughout the years.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right about that. Again, we're talking to Andy Copley, the head coach of the boys basketball team there at Canadian, as they've won their second straight basketball championship. They've gone double back-to-back now in football and basketball, and really making Texas high school history. You guys are the first school to be able to do that. And I asked Chris or Coach Koetting this, and just what does that say about Canadian athletics to you?
I think it talks about a lot about these kids first and foremost, our staff, our community, our expectations. Many communities have the same expectations and work ethic and discipline and a lot of other things, and just for some crazy reason, it's all come together here. But first and foremost, we have outstanding athletes and kids that want to win and want to work hard, and they know what it means. And the tradition that's set here, back when Coach Lynch had the football program, it was, the standards were set very high, and expectations high as well. We've been very successful over here, except in basketball, and then last year we broke through there, and then from there it has just continued to roll. But can't really explain it. Maybe no explanation. That's why it's never happened before. It's just pretty rare, but it's all about the senior class we have right now that have led us so strongly over the past few years.
Yeah, certainly a terrific senior class. There is no arguing with that. Again, that's Canadian head basketball coach Andy Copley as they won their second straight state championship on Saturday, and the double back-to-back being pulled off for the first time in Texas as the football team going back-to-back in state championships as well. Coach Copley, thanks for taking the time to join us this afternoon, and enjoy that second straight championship.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
And that's good stuff from Canadian basketball head coach Andy Copley. We will take a break here on Sports Nuts. When we come back, we'll talk some NCAA tournament. Stay tuned.